06 292 677666. You want a horse? Link Claudia Davis, man. You want a piece of land? She are the real big woman. Miss Davis, she are the real big woman. Which she coulda never go wrong with she. You can own horse and a van through she. You can own acre land. Miss D are the real big woman. Which she coulda never go wrong with she. You can own horse and a van through she. You can own acre land. She tell me pre-smart, pre-better. Get your own damn place so you prefer every day. Me wife if you sign up letter car. NHT them a real chain setter. Plus me don't get a youth of a member. Me son just on table in December. And she do construction too. She will build your house for you and you get it well rendered. Davis, she are the real big woman. Which she coulda never go wrong with she. You can own house and a van through she. You can own acre land. Miss D are the real big woman. Which she coulda never go wrong with she. You can own house and a van through she. You can own acre land. She now start it and left you there. Me a tell your brother, yes, she well prepared. And if you're meeting enough farmer banga wrong, she give you lawyer, brother, clear your fear. She are the best RS agent. She help the need if you stop pay rent. They don't care about mind, them just give me strength by steel and gravel and black and cement. Now me house that I build up on the eye. Me a save some me money gone up in the sky from. Maybe Claudia, me say me nah lie. Bank have money and me pocket never giant. Me swear for me life, say me son him have to fly so. Hypocrite pagan while we die. You can't stop Claudia Davis, don't try. Every day another house gone. I Miss Davis, she are the real big woman. Which she coulda never go wrong with she. You can own house and a van through she. You can own acre land. Miss D are the real big woman. Which she coulda never go wrong with she. You can own house and a van through she. You can own acre land. Yeah man, you know. Miss Claudia Davis, big up yourself. That's a like, subscribe, and share. Claudia Davis, can get your house anywhere. Just be prepared without no fear.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome. I thank you for joining us today, Antonio and Antonio. We're going to do this. I'm a real video, and then we'll do this now. And then we think that we do this. But ladies and gentlemen, we have a very exciting thing for you. The exciting like these numbers. So fun, it's so fun. Those of you who like mathematics with numbers. Those of you who like mathematics. Probably out. At the end of this, we're going to think out. Maybe that's why I just cannot understand mathematics. You probably why you have the knowledge of it, right? Or maybe there's this. You get start to understand the math along with it. It's so simple. Lord, what is the price? Lord, we cannot afford it. Lord, what is the fund of soul? Get the soul, pay more, you never lost. A simple question. One, you don't know the interest rate. You don't know the service rate. You don't need to know that of that. You don't need to know about it. You get a loan. You become a security for a month in savings, and so years. And every month you work for that money and you pay it back. And let the next you do the work in that one. You know, who are about the door when you could, I don't want to take around here. Okay, so we're having a conversation. Then we have to run. Alright? So, last thing I'm going to is that. Those of you joining us for the first time, welcome. I wonder what's wrong with the phone here. Look at our audience on those boxes. That means we can share. Still don't know walking? That's personal, that's microphone. You said it's on the on, and I have personal microphone on. Sound check, sound check. Are you hearing us properly now? Sound check. This is going to the L. Still sounding okay?
Yeah, man. Building wealth live.
Still forward that. You know what that's called on. Are you ready now? Can you hear us better now? Hi, Cheryl. We're going to try and fix microphone. No? We can, yes. One moment. We'll hit the commercial break, and then I'm going to try and build up. I'm wondering if I can just do this. So, in my care, you know, they turn on that's the next part. I'm not. I'm looking for more. I don't know how to talk about it.
Noise cancellation.
All right. The sound should be better now. We should be coming in strong on the lapels. Everyone, just let me know if you can hear us better. This is still not hearing.
Not hearing.
As in nothing at all, or not hearing well.
So
I'm not sure. Kendrick and Farah says yes. Claudia says yes, but yes to what?
yes, are you hearing? Read our lips.
Okay, so Cheryl says hearing better. Okay, all right. I think it's the AC. All right, Cheryl says we're good to go.
Okay, good. All right, welcome back again, everybody. Tony, that's 13 minutes. I have to get this tighter.
Yes. Oh, but let me say welcome and see who's in the house with us. So we have My Serenity, who was here first. Hi, Serenity.
Hi.
Henrik came in second, and then Farah was a solid third. Claudette was also here. Blessed Sunday. And Joy is also here. Nice.
Nice. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming on, and bear with us while we get these technical difficulties. Tony, you will have to hire an engineer.
Delroy says hi. Hi, Delroy. And we have Colin Johnson here as well. And Currency Walk is here. All right, so all our regulars are here.
And everybody else who is new, who they haven't said anything, but they're here.
They're here.
Yes, listening. All right, thank you, everybody. If you're new and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to the channel. Please share it with your friends, so you can share it right now. So take a moment to share it with somebody else. Right now, this minute. All right, guys. So Tony, what we're talking about today, we're talking about real estate versus savings. Taking the money out, buying the piece of real estate, and the monthly money that you would be saving every month is what is paying the mortgage. So let's just say you have set aside 20,000. I'm going to be saving 20,000 every month. Instead, you buy a piece of real estate, and that 20,000 is what you're paying on the mortgage every month.
Right.
Or some of you will say, I want this money to go on a fixed deposit. And every month when it expires or matures, you add another 20,000 to the fixed deposit every month. So that's you saving again.
Right.
Or some persons will buy treasury bills, and every month they want to add money to it. Although treasury bills don't really work like that. Or some persons will say, let me buy some US dollars every month. They're edging against this US dollar going up.
Doesn't it usually go up in our jurisdiction though?
It does. But is it really beating the real thing that we're going to talk about today, which is the inflation.
Mm-hmm.
It's the inflation you need to beat, you know. If you don't beat that inflation, money just a roll under the soup. So
I know, but when it comes to savings, I don't think most persons are trying to consciously beat inflation, as you said. I think most persons are just consciously trying to beat their own mind from not going to go and spend that money every month.
beat their mind.
Yeah. Because I mean, once the money is there, you're like, there's so many things I can purchase.
Yeah, but every single second of the day, you're thinking, oh, I have 200,000 in a bank account. You jump on one of these online platforms and you see a watch, you see some wig or something. You say, oh, I have 20,000. I'm just going to borrow 1,000, $10, 10 US dollars, 20 US dollars. I'm just going to buy this little wig. And then I'll put it back next month. And then you're in this constant trap with this. Oh, I have this money in the bank, and it is like a big burden on you for this money to stay in the bank and grow. It's a serious challenge, guys, right?
The money becomes burdensome just sitting and watching.
Yeah, you just watch.
Money's like, I know you want to spend me now.
Yeah.
I know you want to spend me.
And then guess what too? Happening to you too. You're thinking somebody's gonna steal it. Remember back in the day we used to keep money in the bank for safekeeping, right? The robbers used to come through anywhere and rob the bank and whatever. These days they don't need to physically come and
They don't need to come through. They just need to click, 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 click. I got your savings.
Yeah, so you're constantly on edge. It's either you stealing your own money and go spend it, or somebody else stealing this money and spending it for you.
Right.
Guys, when you have the mortgage, you don't think anything like that.
True.
You just pay this
no,
20,000 every month.
You more panic and think, oh, I need to pay the bank, or the bank will steal this property from under me.
But by the time you get to that, you're not even too worried the bank taking it, because you know by now you have some value in it, right?
True.
And you will extract that value. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're looking at real estate versus savings and what actually builds wealth in Jamaica or anywhere in the world for that matter. But we're talking specifically about Jamaica. All right. So after the break, when we get back,
we took the break already. I took the break while we're looking for the microphone.
All right then. So welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Building Wealth Live. So everybody have a different opinion about what they want to do with the money, right? Some people say save the money, save the money. Yeah, your mother and your father tell you that, save the money, right? Some say buy US dollar, man, and put it down, man. Convert the money to US dollars so you can buy where you want down the road. Some say invest in treasury bills and bonds and stocks. And some persons like me say buy real estate, right? So everybody have an opinion about your money and what they're to do with it. Now, we are going to look seriously at comparatively. We're looking at inflation data. We're going to look at treasury bill data. We're going to look at market data, meaning what is the interest rate. And we're going to look at exchange rate data, meaning what's the exchange rate for the US dollar. And we're going to look at it historically, which is 20 years in the back. Lucky for us, Bank of Jamaica actually have all of this data on their website. So we're able to bring it in, use it. And of course, you know, my AI tools are so on the ball, which is why I'm able to actually do lots of things because of the AI. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're actually designing an AI course that you're going to be able to jump into. Do not miss that because you have to get onto it. So we're making it really simple. We're going to show you how do you digitize your desk, what it is that you're doing now, which is a practical way to really use AI. So that's what I do.
For the everyday
So,
person.
for in my life, right? So I need to do the show with you. I use my AI tools to help me to build a show for you. So you can also use your AI tools to help you digitize your decks, your workspace, what reports, what you need to be doing for your boss, and the decisions that you need to make, and so on. Because the AI actually 10x is you at your decks. So don't listen to people talking about it, going to replace you and all of that. But it definitely I gonna put somebody else there who can use the AI. That's how it's gonna replace you if you don't learn it, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, inflation is what you need to be thinking about. And that's our main actual topic for today. It's the inflation that causes the problem. All right. So if you had $1 million in 2005, what would you have done with $1 million in 2005? Would you have put it on your bed? Would you have put it in treasury bills? Would you have bought some stocks with it? Would you have put it on a fixed deposit? And if you did all of those things, or would you have bought a real estate? If you did any of those things with $1 million, what would it be worth today? What would be the value today, right? Would you have beat this inflation that is giving problems all over the world, not just Jamaica, all over the world, right? So you go to the gas pump today, like it used to cost me $10,000 to fill my tank, now it's costing me $12,000. Boom, them take $2,000 from me just like that. I don't know if bread price go up yet because I haven't bought a loaf of bread for maybe a couple weeks now. But with gas price going up, everything is gonna go up. Grain price, everything. So more than likely the bread gone up. Somebody tell me the bread price gone up. National bread used to be $5. I think a $5.35. It's either $5.35 or $5.65. Has that price gone up?
Did bread go up, anyone?
Tell me if it went up. Those of you who buy bread every single week, luckily for us, we don't eat a lot of bread now. And our grandkids actually don't like bread that much.
That is so strange.
That's so strange. But is that a good thing? I think so.
I mean, but it struggles, Rachel, because like, what do you feed them when they do it bread?
Yeah, because there's bread and cheese, bread and butter. I had so much of that growing up.
Cheese sandwich?
Yeah, these kids, boy. So, your money didn't necessarily get smaller. It was the purchasing power of the money. So, you go to work and you get 100,000 every month, 100,000 every month. All of a sudden, you get this 100,000 this month. Ouch. It can no longer buy all the things that you usually buy. So it is a purchasing power that has gotten smaller. And what has caused that to get smaller? That's the thing, right? So what is the inflation? What is it? Somebody tell me, what is inflation?
What is inflation?
What is inflation? All right. So while you look up that on Google
Or your AI.
Let's go to this article that BOJ came out with this week here. Actually, last week. No, this week, May 27th, right? So, BOJ flags 2 quarters of above target inflation, signals readiness to raise rates. So, they're saying the inflation was above the target, their target that they had set. So it signals a readiness to raise the rates. What rates I'm talking about?
Oh, Cheryl Answer said, I bought a time and patience bread while I was in Jamaica 1 week for $6.50, and the next week it was $7.50.
Ouch. There you go. $100 on the bread. All of you can do mathematics. Tell me what was the percentage increase in the bread from $6.50 to $7.50. What was the percentage increase on the bread? So, here's the article. Tony, you have the article there?
Yeah.
All right, the BOJ, which is Bank of Jamaica, expects inflation to climb above its 6% target ceiling for at least 2 consecutive quarters and warned it stands ready to adjust interest rates if price pressures prove persistent. So their inflation target is 6%. They expect the goods and services to move 6%. Anybody calculate it yet? What was the actual increase in the bread price? Google it, guys. Just ask it. Ask Google if you can do the maths. Right? What was the actual percentage increase in the price? Inflation in Jamaica is therefore forecast to trend upwards over the June and September 2026 quarters, beyond the 6% upper limit of the bank's target range. This will be driven mainly by supply and cost pressures, said BOJ Governor Richard Biles. And we're going to look at that, cost and supply pressures, said Richard Biles on Tuesday at BOJ's quarterly monetary policy press conference in Mandeville. Last week, the BOJ's Monetary Policy Committee voted unanimously to hold the policy rate at 5.5%. The Monetary Policy Committee is prepared to adjust its monetary policy stance if the conflict in the Middle East is protracted, resulting in sustained price increases. Okay, so they're holding strain in increasing the interest rates because they're watching the Middle East conflict. Personally, I hope this Middle East conflict resolves itself quickly, because all of us, every single one of us in every country will be feeling this, right?
Serenity says 16%.
16% the bread price gone up. And they're telling us about an inflation target of 6%. So you see, in real life, it actually goes up more.
And
right?
Jacqueline says that a loaf of national bread is now $5.60.
$5.60. Okay. What was it before? That I don't know. So headline inflation stood at 4.3% in April 2026, within the bank's 4 to 6% target range. But the BOJ warned that rising energy costs triggered by Middle East geopolitical hostilities will push inflation beyond the upper limit. Risk to the forecast, Biles said, are skewed to the upside. Do we get oil from the Middle East, though? So why is oil going up in Jamaica? Do we get oil from the Middle East? Somebody please advise me. Where does the oil come from in Jamaica? And why does the Middle East have a problem with moving oil through the strait, causing us in Jamaica to have higher oil increases? Somebody asked one of them AI there, why is that affecting us? Let's know. The inflation pressure stems from damage to oil and gas infrastructure in the Middle East and disruption to shipping through the Strait of Hormuz. Rising crude prices are expected to push electricity costs higher in Jamaica, with domestic gas prices already elevated. Higher energy and transport costs are then expected to trigger second round price increases in food, personal care, and household maintenance items. Now, as a consumer in Jamaica, there are certain things that you can do to mitigate. One is to go with your solar. No, I changed cars. I had the opportunity to buy an electric car and didn't. I went back to gas vehicle. Am I rethinking that decision? Maybe just a little. But why did I choose a gas? Really and truly, it was because I didn't want to discipline myself to sit and wait for my battery to be charged.
I know, because right now you run on, oh my gosh, it's below half.
Oh my gosh, no, it's below quarter. It's almost at E.
Tony, we have to stop right now. I need gas.
So I would have to discipline myself, change my behavior. When I get home, I would have to plug in this car. Don't fall asleep and leave it out there. All kind of things that I'm not yet disciplined and prepared to do. So this gas thing is biting me right now. All right.
Farah says one of the reasons for the increase is because it's purchased through the U.S., who purchase and process the crude from the Middle East.
There you go. So now we know why, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're not buying directly from Middle East, but we're buying through US, who purchase the crude through the Middle East.
Why are we purchasing oil from U.S. when the whole of the bottom of the Caribbean have oil?
You mean like Guyana?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Venezuela, Trinidad.
Why? True, Tonya. No, that no make no sense. I don't know. Anyway, that's the politics of it, guys. Now, the compounding the outlook, the BOJ now forecasts a contraction in real GDP, that's gross domestic product, of between 1 and 2% for fiscal year 2025 to 2026, as a confluence of the external price shock and Hurricane Melissa's lingering economic damage weighs on domestic activity. Recovery to growth of between 1 and 3% is projected at 26 to 27 and 27 to 20 years, 27 to 28. So even growth projections are low, guys. The main upside risk is a more extended and broader conflict in the Middle East, resulting in further increases in international commodity prices and their subsequent impact on domestic prices. In addition, adverse weather conditions, including the effects of El Nino, could place upward pressure on agriculture prices. Higher than projected inflation expectations also could contribute to inflationary impulses. Post-hurricane reconstruction spending will add demand side pressure. Remember, we talk about cost side, we talk about demand side. So the cost side was the oil higher price. Demand side now is the pressure to an economy already absorbing an external cost shock. So while Jamaica's current account surplus is projected to narrow, driven by higher fuel import costs. So them paying more for the oil now, right? So them current account, just like me and you, we are paying more for gas. So therefore, our bank balance, our current account balance will go down. That's the word I'm looking for. Decrease. That's the word I'm looking for. All right? So that's what it means. So driven by higher fuel costs, reconstruction-related imports, and reduced tourism earnings. So now we also have reduced tourism earnings. Persons are not traveling as often because of the war, because of the rising prices of the airplane costs, the shipping, all of that. They're not traveling. So we have a double whammy. We have reduced tourism earnings. So even though you and your household may not have reduced earnings, you have increased costs. Some of you will also have reduced earnings because maybe one person in the household no longer has a job, because we're also having unemployment rising as well in certain countries. Some of the things you can do, though, is reduce your consumption of unnecessary items, like the same clothes. Go shop in your closet now. For shoes, clothes, shop in your closet, guys. Food, go shop in your pantry. I know many North Americans have these big pantries full of food about to expire. How about you shop in the pantries and the freezers, deep freezes that you all have at home, instead of automatically going to the supermarket? Now is the time to make that kind of a change. We made those adjustments a long time ago, so we don't have those challenges. Our pantries are empty and our refrigerators are empty. So we don't have those problems. The most we might have in the pantry now is 2 tin of sardine and 2 tin of bully. And now that hurricane season is upon us, we might raise that to a dozen of each.
Yep.
Right. So guys, shop in your pantries, shop in your deep freeze.
Well, I guess I know why they don't do it. When you store so much food, you then have to cook it. And in this dispensation of society and how it's moving fast, who has time to sit down and cook anything?
So why do you have time to go and stand in the line in the supermarket, walking around the supermarket pushing this trolley, Then go to the line and I check it out and I swipe a credit card.
Because that's the tradition. That's what you know and grow, and you're thinking, I have children or I have a husband. I am expected to maybe cook once a week something for the family to eat. And you never get around to it.
Tell me who on this chat have that challenge? Where you're looking at this whole heap of food in the pantry and this whole heap of food in the freezer about to expire to you have to fling out the meat and everything. Who have that problem? And tell me, who has made the adjustment? Which one of you made this adjustment when you saw this coming? That you know, do not spend 100 US every week at the supermarket business because you're wasting money, tying up money in the cupboard and the freezer.
Anyone?
Tell me, anybody have that challenge?
Maybe if there's an older person at home who loves cooking, then I could see you stock in the fridge.
Thank God we don't have anybody in our house who love cooking.
I know, right? Not only that, so the oldest person in our house can't cook.
Exactly. So,
I still don't get how it missed your generation, you know.
because my mother was here to teach me, remember?
Yeah, but you were here and you didn't teach us anything. But Richard and I have some cooking skills.
Yeah, you do. I guess thank God to the internet.
Yeah.
And Rachel actually decided to go to cooking school.
Yes, like serious cooking school, you know, midnight cooking.
The whole year of cooking, guys. Back to the topic, Tony. So to stabilize the foreign exchange market, the BOJ sold 1.3 billion through its BFXITT. I don't know what that means. Foreign exchange something. Intervention facility over the 12 months to end April 2026. US 200 million more than the prior period. Wow. The Jamaican dollar is nonetheless appreciated 0.5% year over year as at May 19, against a depreciation of 1.7% a year earlier. Gross international revenues stood at 6.5 billion, equivalent to 139.6% of the adequacy benchmark. The BFXITT, the Bank of Jamaica Foreign Exchange Intervention and Trading Tool. Oh, that's what it means. The Bank of Jamaica Foreign Exchange Trading Intervention and Trading Tool is a mechanism the BOJ uses to manage foreign exchange market operations. Mr. Biles confirmed that the BOJ's forecasts already incorporate an expected increase in public passenger vehicle fares. Wow. Even though the amount and timing remain unannounced. So if you already factor it in, what's stopping you now from, so on one hand, the operators are feeling the pain.
But they increased
on the other hand,
they increased it unofficially before they got the increase.
The taxi men.
Yeah, because the fare is $180, but they take $200 off us.
Oh, Tony knows because she takes the transportation. So they have to. So they go grab ball over them want fare increase.
I don't know.
And them already take them fare.
I don't think anybody, and some people were still trying to give them the 180 and they grumble.
Right.
But now that they might get the $200 and they've already been taking, I don't think they can push the public. I think people will just stand up and wait for JUTC. Because people are literally annoyed, you know, when I take the taxis,
yeah,
and they're taking this $200, I can hear the grumbling and the complaining and just the injustice of it.
Yeah, because that $20 means something to somebody. Well, I know it means to Tony. And
not only that, too. When I go on my bus, it's $50. It's $50 is the bus fare.
The JUTC.
Yes.
Oh, so why are you jumping on the route taxis?
You see me jumping on the route taxis?
Now how you know the fare is?
Only if I'm really late because JUTC is so slow.
The JUTC, you need to step up your folly ground, as my mother would say.
Yeah.
You need to step up your thing and give the people a real alternative to taking the bus.
Yeah. When I'm on time for Saturday work, I take my JUTC all the way. But if I'm running late, I can't do that. I'm going to be late for work.
So it costs you to run late.
Yeah.
Your own indiscipline. Have nothing to do with the taxi man.
No.
So everybody, there is a moral of the story. That's a lesson. You have to be disciplined because there is an alternate. $50 as opposed to $180. $200 now. 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be disciplined in your movement. So Mr. Biles confirmed that the BOJ's forecast already incorporate an expected increase. All right. We understand and appreciate that they are going to be precious. I don't know what the amount of fare increase might be or when, but we have a general estimate that we have included in our forecast. Well, it can't, I think it can't go beyond 200 or you got a problem, Mr. Biles.
I know.
So don't even bother dream about that one day. You're gonna have problems. All right, everybody. So, what is it that you are going to be doing? So we're here now. What was the definition somebody gave for the inflation?
No one gave it.
All right, so inflation is a general rise in price over time. That's inflation. The BOJ would have us believe that the general rise in price over time was the 6% that they're talking about.
It's a 15% though.
I wonder which goods and services in Jamaica only went up by 6%. Come BOJ, explain it yourself. How do you calculate this inflation? I guess you can't really come on the screen and tell us it was 18%.
No, or maybe they can't come on the street and say, oh, we know it increased, but we can't really say how much it increased by. So we're going to give you this number. And then if it's below or higher, then you just work with that.
So it is the general rise in price over time, which causes your money to buy less than it used to. That's what the inflation does. So if the bread was $6.50, as Cheryl said, and she had $6.50 only in her pocket, she couldn't buy the same bread for $7.50 because she only have $6.50 in her pocket. So what she have to do? She can't buy a whole bread. She have to buy a half a bread or a quarter bread and butter, like what I used to do.
But remember, you were telling us that back in the day, you could usually just take like the same $6.50, $500,
Yeah.
and get a whole trolley full of
trolley in an Empire supermarket at Crossroads. The trolley full up. No, $500 can't even buy a loaf of bread.
Not even put one
$5.60,
item in the trolley.
right? But if you can't buy if you only have $6.50, guys, so remember I keep saying, don't follow the price. You must follow your pocket. Do not follow the price. Follow your pocket. So if your pocket used to buy the bread for $6.50, you're gonna have to now say, buy the short week bread. Remember that bread there? There's a company that sells a bread named Shorty. It's actually less sliced, smaller too,
I
right?
actually like it. It's less filling,
Yeah, I like it.
which is I don't even know if that's a good thing, but it's less filling.
It's less.
So you don't feel like something dropped in your stomach.
But back in the day, I used to have to buy quarter bread and butter. Not half, quarter. They actually sold that. Somebody tell me them still sell that.
So they actually cut the bread and put butter on it, give you?
So them cut the bread in four.
Yeah.
Then cut it down the middle like this. Butter it. Wrap it up in the paper. Or if you're the last quarter, you get it back in the same bag.
Mm-hmm.
And then give that to you. That was quarter bread and butter. I used to buy that. And out of that quarter bread and butter, I got 4 slices. So I literally had 4 days of bread and butter. I never eat all the whole quarter bread and butter one shot. And I also used to buy half pound of sugar, 1 Kool-Aid name flavor me used to love was Chocoberry Fin, as I the name. Something like that.
I carried over into my childhood, so
Yes, something like that. And then I would sprinkle my little Kool-Aid, mix my little 2 teaspoons of sugar, cut my slice quarter bread and butter, eat that, drink my sugar and water, go on my work, drop off Tony and go on my work, right? And then lunchtime I used to hang out, go to KFC, buy 2 sauce of biscuit, beg 1 ketchup, open the biscuit, put it in there, so flour me, I eat the whole day enough, right?
I'm surprised you still have brain cells, Bob.
I'm surprised. So I'm telling us that bread have how much vitamin joke you get. One go ask Mr. National how much vitamins in the bread.
Cheryl says she remember those days.
Surely remember the quarter bread and butter. So this is a not line on me alone. Quarter bread and butter, people. No, not telling you to get back to that. But you have to follow your pocket. If you follow the price, heaven help you.
You have to have some discipline to the
Yeah,
food.
you have to have some
Because
discipline.
other than mortgage, it's usually the next bill.
Yeah,
That's-
biggest bill, the
yeah.
food bill. All right. So this is what is causing the challenge, the inflation. Remember, that's the topic we're on today. Now, your money didn't get smaller. So your 100,000 is still there, you know, remember. It's just that what you can buy now with the 100,000, I get smaller. So what that mean? You need to have something we can run with the inflation, yeah. Or outrun it. In other words, beat it. To beat it as well. So why do the prices raise? More people want the same thing. So it's demand. Demand make price raise. That's one thing. As population grow, income, people get more income. So like Cheryl now. Cheryl might be earning more income. She on fair side I earn more income. Me over here, so me now earn more income. Cheryl, even though the bread raise to 750, she can still buy it. And she can still buy 2 and 3 and 4. Me over here, so me can't buy not even one. I have to down myself to quarter bread and butter or none. Right? But the demand is what causes inflation too, is what causes the whole price rise, which causes the inflation.
So
right?
buy things that don't won't be troubled by inflation because not many persons are producing it or eating it or
Yeah, like what? So when the supply get more, so like tomato, when the supply is
green
more,
banana. But how is that still so cheap?
green banana, because nobody's eating it. That's it. Yet we eat dry banana that gone up. So the price is so gets low for tomatoes when we have a glut on the market. We have more tomato than people are wanting to buy. But when you have less tomato and more people demanding it, then it reached $1,000 for one tomato. Like I saw papa in the supermarket, $1,000 for one papa. I was like, ouch, not buying it. Move it along. All right. So when the demand rises faster than the supply, then prices increase, which cause the inflationary effect.
Cheryl says, yeah, mom being a single mom couldn't afford the whole bread.
Right. That was me too. Single mom, couldn't afford the whole bread. But we were still nourished, guys. I need to force Anna's even to eat bread though. Because bread actually have a lot of vitamins and everything in it. It is a staple with almost everything in it.
I think it's because it takes so long. The chewing, the swallowing.
Yet they eat tough crackers. Because I eat the tough crackers, so them always coming on for it. All right, so businesses also pay more. So if the gas price gone up, electricity, people demanded more pay because of the same inflation, shipping costs, all of that, insurance businesses, every business. This
But I
is
don't
now
get
the
it.
cost push that we're talking about, that Mr. Biles was talking about in his article. This is now the cost, the real cost of producing the goods is now higher.
But I still don't get it. I feel like inflation, like in my small brain, is just some hairy-fairy thing that bright people made up to keep the rest of us poor. Because if you don't move the price, then people can't produce it at more money or whatever, and it doesn't cost us to buy it at more money. So just don't move the price.
Don't move the price, which is why I'm saying that raising that NHT benefit also is an inflation driver.
Yeah.
Because as long as that benefit moves, now instead of 9 million, people want 12 million for the house, for the same house.
And they haven't done anything to it.
Yeah.
And not even a year past, just the announcement
Just
in
the
April
announcement,
and
yeah.
the activation in July.
Yeah, and the price gone up. So, yes, I agree. If nobody wants an increase, there's no inflation. And don't do things that create this problem, like closing the Strait of Hormuz.
Well, they had to close that because they're at war. Why they're at war is beyond me. But they're at war, so they closed that a tactic.
These are the things, right? Do not, as big industries, big countries, and these things, don't do things that create price pressure because inflation.
What I don't understand is that these leaders of industries and countries, it's like they want to give themselves more work.
Yeah.
Because if you don't increase anything and if you don't go to war, you don't go do anything and everybody is copacetic, then you're fine.
Mhm.
Right? You just go side little increase in whatever and whatever. And none of this is extra work that you have to be doing and worrying about your country falling down into whatever. But I feel like they
do
just
these things to give themselves work.
and create problem where we don't need any problem.
Yes, like Bank of Jamaica right now, I run up and down. Should we raise it? Should we raise the interest rate? Should we not raise it? Come on, guys. Come on. That's just too much. My poor little brain can't think so far. So, increase in people want more, which is demand, and increasing cost, right? To businesses and so on. So, them increase the price on us. Like the same government taxing sugar drink.
Oh, to be fair, government did try. They did say don't drink it. Even after they say come out and do some exercise and walk it off. You know, see every year at 5K is walking it off too.
Yeah.
And we do not listen.
We don't listen.
That reminds me, Mom, you're walking the 5K on weekend.
No, sir, I'm not walking no 5K.
You have to walk a little bit of it, man.
You think I don't know my limitation? At my age, I have to know my limitation.
Oh, it's not that they even walking it. So you have to
Them
walk.
can't go walk. I'll wait on them to come back. And you better be careful you don't push and overheat those kids.
No, sir.
You get
At
them
6
fit.
a.m. in the morning.
No, get them
what kind
fit
of
before.
overheating them going to have?
Get them acclimatized and fit for the walk. Don't just push them in a 5K walk like that. You guys are training and practicing. So you expect them to do that, then you must do the same for them.
So if we don't carry them on the 5K with us, you're the one end up watching them.
That's
for the
fine.
hour.
I watch them for the hour. But if you want them on the 5K, they need some training. Remember that. So guys.
Or Cheryl says introduce them to nice, hot, buttered slice of time and patience bread. The grandkids will fall in love with bread. And make sure it's anchor butter.
You need to tell me where you get that bread. Time and patience bread. Tell me where you buy it. Because I've never seen a bread named Time and Patience.
Isn't it that huge bread that's in the supermarket?
No, I've
With
never
the whole heap of slices in it and it's kind of like red.
I've
think
never
in
seen
color.
that. I've never seen that bread. That's a Coronation and National, but I've never seen that
Or
bread.
maybe that's what I'm mixing
And
up
back
with
in
the
the day,
Coronation.
there was Captain bread. I don't know if that's still there, but the bread used to be really big and thick, hard dough. That's why we could have just buy quarter bread and butter and be good. Full up your belly. All right, so remember, costs is a driver of inflation, so is demand, right? Your currency, a dollar, also you lose purchasing power. That's another big headache.
Oh,
for
sure. Says
Jamaica.
you have to get it in Ulterior's market.
Oh, that's where it is. So, it's a bakery on that side who does it. So, they're not in the supermarket then. So, your currency, so when you lose value, when your money is in the economy, right? Each dollar now is going to buy less. So, businesses respond by charging higher price. So, because you are buying only 3 bully beef when you used to buy 4 bully beef, those little business people raise the bully beef because they want to get back the same. Why, that is a wicked thing, you know.
Maybe it does not have the right business, Miss Davis.
You want to look so, you can jump in on them business. Now, rising costs also create more rising costs. So when oil price raise, shipping raise, food costs raise, everything, then the restaurant are going to raise the price. Workers are asking for more money, business raise price again, and you have a whole inflation cycle just keep going like this and I spin around like a geek. So
My friend says there is money in war. That's why they do it.
there you go. Because I guess you have to build boots and army fatigue and build gun and all these things, right?
Yeah.
Now, suppose you had put $1 million under your mattress, 2025. Tell me, would you think you would have beat the inflation? Who say yes, who say no? You think $1 million, what it could have bought in 2005 can now buy in 2025? Somebody answer me. Can it buy the same gas? Can it buy the same food? Can it buy the same house? Back in the day, we could have buy a house for $1 million. When I bought my first house, it was 200,000 with the escalation.
That's barely a deposit now.
200,000, Tony. Within about 1990. By 1995, the value was $1 million. So,
But if you had waited to purchase, you wouldn't be able to afford
I
it.
couldn't afford it.
Because your pay didn't go up significantly in 5 years.
Nope. All right, everybody. So we're going to take a break here. So we know that inflation does not make things more valuable. That is what I'm going to show you now. So now can you buy the land for 10 million and 20 years old land it reached 20 million? You pat yourself on the back and say, oh, man, I did it. I value 20 million. Or you're forgetting is that what? The inflation is an artificial thing in your head, right? So the goal, inflation doesn't make things more valuable, right? It doesn't. Inflation makes money less valuable. The money, the cash you have in your pocket less valuable. So you have to own assets now that move faster than the inflation. All right, Tony, you ready for the break?
No, we have a question first.
Okay.
Danson is saying, have you heard about the commercial building in Kingston that is going to go on auction because the permit expires or somewhere along that line?
Why would it go on auction because a permit expire?
What kind of permit? Construction?
Permit expire? Mining permit? What kind of permit? No, I haven't. You have the article? Send. Oops, my phone is not here. Send the article to us when your phone is on.
Yeah, my
No?
phone is on.
Are you going to the break now?
We are.
Yeah, man. Building wealth live. Real estate for the people. Bill 9. Land banking. Jamaica rise up. Build together. Own together. One little acre change life forever. Enough man tired to struggle alone. Bill 9. Make 9 family own home. Build together. Rise together. Future brighter when we plan together. From renting life to property zone. One piece of land can be legacy strong. Land price high and the rent done straight up to Mobile. Bill 9 open up a better way. Build together, own together. One little acre change life forever. Enough man tired to struggle alone. Bill 9, make 9 family own home. Land banking are the real wealth code. I before the old place explode. Road and night, while you got grow. Smart money move before the crowd know. 1 acre split in a multiple lot. One family decision elevate this spot. Road and drainage planning correct. Now everybody has said get protect. The crossing. Money come home. Mother and daughter now build them own. Church group link and organize wise. Watch one community start to rise. No buy land cause it's cheap and sale. Check the title and the legal detail. Survey a lawyer, realtor, two strategic moves. Make the vision come true in a way till the price them fly. Position early while the land still buy. Generational wealth, now build overnight. But one smart move can change future bright. Build for the youth, then build for the dream. Build for the family financial scheme. Cause one piece of land in a Jamaica son can create wealth for everyone. Build together, own together. One little acre change life forever. From renting stress to ownership land. Real estate wealth for every Jamaican. Build together, rise together. Some foundation last forever. One family move can rewrite history. Land plus vision create legacy. Building wealth live. Real estate.
All right, welcome everyone.
Welcome back. All right, so the AI has been my friend from ever since. All right, everybody. So I went and did a little interactive comparison data sheet for you. I will also be putting this on my website. Just didn't get a chance to do it today. So it's going to go on the ClaudiaDavisJM.com website. So it's a 20-year Jamaica wealth building comparison. I'm comparing real estate versus treasury bills versus deposits versus, Tony, to be at the top of the screen. versus, look at my screen, 20-year Jamaican well building comparison table versus treasury bills, or real estate versus treasury bills, fixed deposits, USD, and inflation. How does inflation impact from 2005 to 2025? So I'm doing a 20-year historical comparison. So let's go to the glossary. We're going to be using some terms, so I want to make sure that you're familiar with them. So the investment terms, DCA means dollar cost averaging. Invest in a fixed amount every month regardless of the prevailing rate or price, and dollar cost averaging. CAGR, compound annual growth rate, the smooth yearly return that takes you from the starting value to the ending value. Your ROI, which is your return on investment, which is net gain expressed as a percentage of your total investment. Your return multiple, how many times your money grew. Current value plus total invested. Example, the 2.13 times equal 2.13 times. That means that was your return multiple. 2.13 was your return multiple. Your net gain. So what was the current value minus the total you invested? So if you invested 8 million and you got 50 million, then that is your current value, which is the 50 million minus the total you invested, which was the 8 million. The nominal value, the face value amount, not adjusted for inflation. So on the face of it, you bought a property for 10 million. Now to them said value 30 million. But what is the real value when we make the adjustment for all the inflation? In other words, how much the property really value if there was zero inflation, right? Because remember, inflation drives up the price artificially, okay? The real inflation adjusted, the value restated in 2005 purchasing power terms, which is a nominal plus a cumulative inflation factor. Now for currency and rates, JMD means Jamaican dollar, USD, US dollar, FX, foreign exchange between the US and the Jamaican. FX, sell rate, rate at which a bank sells you US. That's what you pay to buy the US dollar. Buy rate, rate at which a banks buy the money from you. Money market. T-bill, treasury bill, which is a short-term government instrument, right? Debt. Treasury bill is you lending the government money. So when you lend the government the money in treasury bill format, the government say, I will give you 5% per annum for 10 years, right? GOJ, Government of Jamaica. ON, which is the overnight rate. I-Bank, interbank rate. This is a rate the banks lend to each other. 30 days, a 30-day deposit instrument. So BOJ, Bank of Jamaica. CPI, a consumer price index. CPI-AF, consumer price index, excluding agriculture and fuel. CPI-FF, CPI excluding food and fuel. PTP, point to point. IRGOG means BOJ table code for the treasury bill yields, and IRPMM means BOJ table code for the private money market rates. And RS info.02 BOJ table code for the inflation. Now, the data came from the Bank of Jamaica, and I told you they're in brackets, and the average yearly FX rates, also which came from the Bank of Jamaica. And this is only built for educational comparisons, everybody. Not financial advice. So that's a glossary. I also gave you the data and formulas. So you can click on that, Tony. Data and formulas. So if you want to check what my AI did and if it did anything incorrect, you click that. You'll be able to look at the data and formulas. Those of you who are mathematically inclined can check this and see this is calculating it properly. All right, it also summarized that for you at the bottom. So in the year 2005, so it's not running fully, but if you look at it, there are 5 columns. First column is a year. Second column is a treasury bill rate. Third column, money market, meaning the interest at the time. And the FX rate was the selling rate at the time, and the inflation rate at the time. So in 2005, you notice that the treasury bill rate was 13.38. Money market rate, meaning your fixed deposit rate, was 12.80. And your foreign exchange at the time was $62.59. And your inflation was running at 10.52. And looking at this, you can see inflation went as high in 2007 at 16.82 for those years. Now, if you come down the line to 2025, let's just jump to 2025, you will see where the treasury bill rate is now at 5.48. Your money market, meaning your fixed deposit, 5.89. However, your foreign exchange rate is at 159. So even though the interest rates went down, your treasury bill rates went down, your US dollar is losing serious value. 159, that's buying rate, the exchange sell rate. And you look at inflation, last year's inflation was at 3.76. I'm gonna watch that, see what it's gonna come out at. All right, let's get into it. We're not going to the executive summary yet. Maybe I should. Let's get to the growth over time. Now let's look at the summary. Go to the summary, Tony.
Executive summary.
So we use the tables that we did the maths, right? The summary is telling us that the real estate actually did come out on top. Or what I should do is tell you what came by that. So the scenario, let's go to scenario first. So you can move these numbers around if you want, but the scenario here was back in the day, I bought a piece of property, bought a piece of land actually, for 350,000 at the time, and I took a mortgage for 3.5 million. I was paying this 33,776 per month. All right. So my monthly payment was 33,776, and it's 1%. What I'm trying to compare, if I had the 350,000 I used by the land, and I was saving the 33,000 every month. So what I put that on a fixed deposit, or I put it on a treasury bill, or I take my 33,000 every month, buy US dollar, and just keep it in the bank, and every month just buy US dollar. Right? That's what I'm comparing. So that same property that built for 3.5 million back in 2005. It's now valued at 45. This is what it's saying. Interest rate at the time was 10%. Over 20 years, and the land cost was 350,000. And then we asked me, is the rated up is a land 350,000? Remember, I told you, 1990, I actually bought a house, a whole house, 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom. I bought a whole house for 200,000. So it's not far fetched by piece of land for 350,000.
I know, right?
And that was a lot. And that was in 2005. All right. So it is telling me that the real estate, the net gain was 36 million. Why is saying that? Because I invested 350,000 in land and I paid 33,000 every month for 20 years. So my total that I spent was 8,456,000. Remember, interest to the bank is already calculated in the 33,000 mortgage. So I don't even think about the interest to the bank. Remember, I only had 350,000 cash in the deal as I bought the land cash. I had to go borrow the money from the bank, 3.5 million, actually build a house, right? So that's what it's telling. And it gives me the treasure bills. So I'm going to show you. So this is a real estate. Let's go to the alternative story. So the real estate versus the alternatives. When you jump on that page, you're going to see. And it right away tells me that my real estate is the winner, which I knew would be the winner. I just really wanted to plug in the numbers and see if that was so. Remember, my investment in the real estate, 8,456,000. My investment in the others would have been 8,511,000 because I was only investing in 33,000 per month. My total, my current value is 45 million for the land, for the house. Treasure bills, that would value would be 18 million. Money for fixed deposit would be 18. Inflation, preservation, 16 million. If I did it with US dollars, meaning I would buy US dollars for 30,000 every month, I would now have 30 million in the bank.
So buying US is actually the least profitable one.
Buying US is actually the most rewarding.
So,
people
so why they
buy US and pull out.
So why they used to say it?
Who used to say?
People, because it's not the first time I'm hearing it from you.
Right. It's not the numbers. I'm seeing the thing that the only way you preserve US is if you have bills to pay in US. So you preserve your US. If you get US and you know that you have bills to pay in US dollars, then you hold on to your US.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But if you don't have bills to pay in US dollars, don't take your Jamaican money and go buy US dollars and think that you're staying at it. You're not. It's better you go buy the real estate. So as you can see, the return multiple here. US dollar holdings is the lowest return multiple. I remember this was done based on US dollar value over the past 20 years. Your real estate return multiple was 5 times. The net gain was 36 million.
They said our sound is low again.
After, what did you turn on? What did you change?
I just changed the angle of this one. Yeah, the angle. This.
So it was plugged in somewhere else?
Yeah, it was plugged in on the other side.
Why change? Why move it?
To get it cooler. So what are they hearing again? It's not this. It's definitely. I wonder if you're losing power on that now.
Is there a way to charge that? Plug this in. So go ahead and do your presentation. You want to plug it here? Is it charging?
No.
All right. So this is telling me that US is the worst way if you want to do this, right? Treasury bills may give you a little edge. Treasury bills and money market instruments. But what is the growth over time? So if you're looking at so let's switch to growth over time. Farah says she's not hearing anything. Are you still not hearing anything? Change mic.
It just sounds like whispers. Still sound like whispers? But this one is on. On this one.
Mic check, everybody. Tell us if you're hearing.
You hear this Davis, because I gave her my mic.
You're hearing me.
What you want me to switch to? Well,
Growth over time. Somebody beep it.
okay, so sound is much better.
All right. So growth over time. What is your growth over time? So if you're looking now, your real estate outperformed, just literally ran away with it in terms of the growth over time. Same type of money invested from 2005 up to 2025. So real estate shown as accumulated cash value versus final appraised value milestones, right? And look at the wealth creation. So wealth creation, you can see again, real estate is there with the 45 million value T-bills. So this is just different ways I'm showing you this graph. What's the inflation analysis though? This one is where the real crux of the matter comes in now. When we adjust for inflation, it is showing that only the real estate kept pace with the inflation and even outran it. Everything else is behind. So what does it mean? The same money, the same 33,000? 33,776. The same 33,000 every month. You had put that in US, sold by US and keep it. In money market, meaning fixed deposit to treasury bills over the period. Instead of buying a piece of real estate, your purchasing power with the US dollar that you have is actually minus 5 million in purchasing power. Same thing with money market, you're in the minus. Real estate is the only thing that would have held some value and you would have had a positive. So when you sell it back, sell the real estate, get back the money, you now could buy, actually still have the purchasing power. Which is why you hear me say, use the real estate as your pension vehicle. Because a lot of these pension funds are put into paper assets, right, guys? So use the real estate as your pension fund. Buy one little piece of land, pay the money monthly. That is you putting money in your pension. Remember, in Jamaica, we don't have capital gains tax. So when you're ready to sell back, you're only going to be paying 2% transfer tax. We don't have capital gains tax. So when you sell back the real estate, when you reach 60, 65, and so on, all that money goes into your pocket. You don't have to pay any NIS, income tax, education tax. You don't pay none of those taxes. When you sell, all the money now that you get from selling the piece of real estate goes into your pocket. And you have that now for your income to spend. Right? So if you buy the piece of land for 10 million and then it valued 25 million, sell it and you collect 20 million, 23 million, and so forth, and you say you have 10 years to live, then you now literally have that divided by 12 that you can now use as part of your pension portfolio. Even better, if you bought a house and you are putting this money in that house every month as the mortgage, then so persons who bought houses like in 2020, those have doubled already in value. If you bought a new house, the value has already doubled. So even though you're paying a mortgage, you already have a gain, right? So let us say you bought a house for 20 million. The mortgage is 16 million. House now value 40 million. When you sell it, you decide to sell it now for argument's sake. So even if you were behind the 8th ball 5 years ago, you could have still done this. by just buying one property. Now that you're retiring, you would now have 18 million to get roughly in your hand. And you could literally have that as your subsidizing your pension income going forward. What do you think? Good idea? Bad idea? Tony? So
it's a good idea, and it's not fancy maths. Right now, you won't be able to sell it.
yes, the maths is simple.
Yeah.
There's nothing for you to calculate.
I know, like, there's this thing I have with social that every year they send me some report about it. And I look at it and I'm like, I really should just buy real estate because this report don't make any sense to me. It's supposed to be like a pension plan.
You know my thing with that though, that pension plan. At the end of it, you get less money, guys. I went for mine at age 55, and I swear I would never talk about I'm using a bank for a pension fund. No way. So you have to understand that in this scenario, the real estate outpaced it, right? And that's because we're looking at historically what were the interest rates at the time coming up over the year, what was the exchange rate, what was the treasury bill rate, and all these are alternates to you putting the money in the real estate. All right. Anybody have any questions yet? Burning questions? So I will put this on my website, and you can go there. You can use the simulator. You can change up the data. You can do all kind of things.
So does it work for future or just past?
Just past. Can't work for future. We don't know what happened in the future.
No, I was wondering if it had like a predict based on the 20-year history.
I don't think it could predict it. We don't know what inflation is going to be. We don't know where BOJ going to raise the interest rates to.
They haven't gone above the 6% in years.
Yeah, but they've gone as high as 16 or something like that. There was a time when interest rate was crazy in the 90s. It's because I didn't go back that far. So if you look at the executive summary, what was the return on investment? Where is it? Yeah, the executive summary. You're there, Tony?
I am.
What was the return on investment? So remember, my things don't line up properly, but for the real estate, the return on investment was 432%. The worst one, as I say, is the US holdings. So guys, stop driving up the US dollar by buying US dollar and hoarding it. Stop it. Use your Jamaican income, earnings, money when you get from foreign about whatever. Use it and go buy real estate. That's what you do. That is what you do. Everybody in this audience can tell me, I bought a piece of real estate 20, 30 years ago, and this is now what it values. The silliest of real estate, right? Everybody in this audience can tell me, if you didn't buy a piece for yourself, your mother, your father, people around you bought. And them can say, you know, somebody only pay $200 for this, $100 for this. We can't say that about the car them. Car them are mash up leave with. We can't say that about no insurance policy that we take out either. Because I remember taking out a policy for Tony when she was a baby.
For me?
What did the name? 21 plus? Something like that. Anyway, it is a policy that when you reach 21, you get some big money. When they showed me the thing, you know, so what? I so much money me I get it look nothing. Is when Tony reach 21, I'm gonna go for the money. I was so disappointed. Of course, by then the inflation fly a long time. So when you are looking at these projections that them give you, say, oh, we have 200 million 20 years from now. 20 years.
2 million.
2 million? You mean 200,000? The real estate guys, you're better off. All right, Tony, any questions?
Question segment.
Or you can go to the break. Is there a break? I'm trying to get back to my notes here.
Yeah, man. No more waiting. We are move now. Them say them broke, so them not start. See the price and them get dark. Mind lock them afraid for the market. Never know say your system start. You no need to reach to begin. Just strategic to win. From you know where you qualified for. Your foot already in. For them a watch pan sideline. While and price a climb. Them want perfect same time. Now them late and miss time. Start smart, build it fast. Every move, adopt cash. From your step on the ladder. Next level come quick, no pass. Buy what you can afford now. Step in the game, no style now. Start small, level up fast now. Build wealth, make it tall now. Pre-approve, know your price now. Map tell you where you stand now. No more talk, action now. Real estate, we are run down. No more waiting, no more excuses. Start where you are and build from there.
All right, welcome.
876
Welcome.
292
So
6776
real.
You want a house? Link Claudia Davis, man. You want a piece of land? She are the real big woman, Miss Davis, she are the real big woman. With she coulda never go wrong with she. You can own house and a van through she. You can own here car land. Miss D are the real big woman. With she coulda never go wrong with she. You can own house and a van through she. You can own here car land. She tell me pre-smart, pre-better. Get your own damn place so you prefer every day. My wife if you sign up letter car. NHT them a real setter. Plus me don't get a youth of a member. My son just on December. And she look construction too. She will build your house for you and you get it well rendered. Davis, she are the real big woman. With she coulda never go wrong with she. You can own house and a van through she. You can own here car land. Miss D are the real big woman. With she coulda never go wrong with she. You can own house and a van through she. You can own here car land. She now start it and left you there. Me a tell her brother, yes, she well prepare. And if you're meeting enough farm a bangarang, she give you lawyer, brother, clear your fear. She are the best RST agent. She help the need if you stop pay rent. And don't care about mind them, just give me strength by steel and gravel and black and cement out. Now me house that I build up on the eye, me a save some me money gone up in the sky from. Maybe Claudia, me say me nah lie bang. Got money and me pocket never giant. Me swear for me life, say me son him a fi fly so. Hypocrite pagan while we die, and you can't stop Claudia Davis, don't try. Every day another house gone. I Davis, she are the real big woman. With she, you coulda never go wrong with she. You can own house and a van through she. You can own here car land. Miss D are the real big woman. With she, you coulda never go wrong with she. You can own house and a van through she. You can own here car land. Yeah, man. You know.
So
Miss Claudia Davis.
the deal is, remember, I bought the land for $350. Borrowed $3.5 to build. 20-year mortgage. 10% was the interest rate. If you knew that 20 years ago, if you had bought a property for that price in Jamaica, I don't know about anywhere else in the world, but in Jamaica, would you have bought a property or would you have still put the $350,000 on a fixed deposit?
Obviously, you're bought a property.
So here's a question now. Remember now, I only had $350,000. And I only had that because I was made redundant, so I had that cash. not because I saved it or anything. Well, I borrowed part of it too from other co-workers because it's a whole story. I think I've told the story before. Take that bottle out. Shoot. You're gonna wait, Tony. You're gonna have to shut down that pour first. Turn this off first. Hold on. One moment, everybody. Let me shut it down. No, you might have to unplug it from there. Unplug it from there
Okay.
first.
You can go and answer the other questions.
What's the other question? I don't have any other question.
Yeah, there's an EcoSted register question.
Oh, okay, yes. Ecosted, we now have the signs. We're planning to get out there. But we have actually started selling Riverstead, everybody. Ecosted, remember? We've started.
Is this off?
Yes, it's off now. We have actually started to sell Ecosted. If you're interested in Ecosted, you need to go on the website and make your application for Ecosted lot. We have started taking the reservations. We haven't started handing out the contracts yet. But once I put up the sign, everybody, then I know I'm going to have a rush on persons wanting to get in to Ecosted. So I'm actually delaying myself putting up the sign as well. Because there are certain things that we have to do in the back end, like the sale agreement, what are the conditions under which they will be buying. We still don't have some of our housing floor plans as yet in terms of design and what it looks like. That is what is actually being worked on right now. So, which is why I can't publicly put it out yet until I have those ducks in a row. That's the truth. But if you're interested in Ecosted, which is in Portland, Norwich, Portland, right on the main beside Norwich Primary School, then you really need to put in a reservation. Lots start at $92,000 US, and there will also be an escalation onto that. Maximum escalation is 10% though. But the lots start at $92,000 US. The website is Ecosted Development Limited. No, EcostedDevelopment.com. When you go on the site, click Ecosted at Norwich, and the map comes up. We've made our map very interactive. You can click on any lot and you can see the size, the price. I don't know if I put in the views as yet, but everything is there. All right. Riverstead, we are still at design phase for Riverstead. We are a little bit behind with that one, but still working on the design. There are some things that we need to line up, which is what we're doing. So that's where we're at with Riverstead. But I actually, now that I'm on subdivisions, I actually was looking at some land out in Old Harbor yesterday. Strong potential. Those of you who want to be a part of that one, if we decide to go ahead with the Old Harbor one, go to my website, claudiadavisja.com. Go to the, I think it's a section that says investment, and register your interest, because you would want to come in as a shareholder. Invest. No, I think it says invest, and you can go scroll down. Did I put it here? So I have the current opportunities on that page. And if you're interested in becoming a shareholder or investment partner, scroll to the bottom of that page, invest, and you are going to, at parish of interest, you would select. So this one we're looking at is St. Catherine, which is Old Harbour. If you're not interested in that parish, then you select another parish that you may have interest in. All right. But I looked at 3 properties in Old Harbour yesterday. All of them with good potential. It's really now just up to the funding. So if you're interested in becoming a shareholder with us, similar to how we did Ecosted and Riverstead, then you complete the form so that you can be notified that we're going to be starting the meetings and so on. All right. And Tony, where were you when we got distracted?
You're taking over this question.
Okay, I answered it actually. So the real power of the real estate, though, I should tell you, it's not just that it sometimes beats inflation, and that sometimes in Jamaica it tends to. In some other countries it probably doesn't, but in this country it tends to. Is the leverage that it gives you. Remember, I did not have all the money. I didn't have 3.5 million to put a house on a property. Right? The bank, it is the bank who gave me the money. The actual appreciation is not just on the 350,000 that I actually put in the property, which was land. The appreciation was on the whole thing, building and land. And I benefited from that. Remember that. So it's not just a cash contribution. And I hear people say, "I'm not borrow the money because they're going to pay the bank 3 times." Yes, I did pay the bank 3 times, as you can see from the calculation.
More than 3 times.
Of course. Way more than 3 times. Because I paid 8 point something million based on the calculations. And I only borrowed 3.5. So you have to say 9 million if you go with the 3 times. But the truth is, I didn't have 3.5 million in my account. If I was ever to save 3.5 million to take my lifetime.
You're not a good saver.
I'm not a good saver. I'm one of these spendthrift people. I am a fox. I hunt. I love to be in the whole heap of things. So somebody say, "Oh, Claudia, that's going to make money, I'm going to test it. That's going to make money, I'm going to test it." And it costs money. Tony always say, "Mom, you need to stop trying to just run after everything and test it." And I'm a fox. I like to, prance around the place and go after every prey, right? So that's a true power of real estate, is that you can be leveraged. The bank not going to lend you the money to go buy the stock or putting on a treasury bill. And you're going to find, if the bank do lend you the money, you're going to put it on treasury bill. What's the point? You're going to take demand loan at 18%. Up to 5 million you can borrow. So you borrow $5 million at 18%, paying over 5 years, and you're only getting 6% or 4% on a treasury bill. Even me knows I'm enough to do the maths there, right?
But to be fair, it's slow and it's low, but there's no work and there's no worry.
For what?
The treasure bill. You just do it and then you just
forget it.
Yeah. And I think that's what catches a lot of people.
But unless, what happens if the country goes bankrupt? Countries have gone bankrupt.
Yeah, but people aren't expecting their country to go bankrupt.
Countries have said, "I'm not able to pay back this treasury bill."
I know.
Back in the day when Jamaica was doing these high interest treasury bills and bonds, they came out and said, "Listen, we can no longer pay you 30% or 40% or whatever it was. they came and said we have to drop it to 7%. You understand? So those who were living off that had to come and think again. So the main drivers of the real estate, you have the appreciation, the property will go up in a value if the inflation is running. You might find if the inflation is not run, the property value may stay the same. Right? Just I'm wondering if these technocrats and rich people deliberately billing the inflation so that the property value can go up.
Yeah.
You also have leverage. Remember, you get to control a whole big 3-4 bedroom house. You control it in and at the bank. You get to control that big asset with just a little money down.
Yeah.
Imagine that. That's a serious thing.
I know, and the trust to pay to go pay back that little money every month.
Yeah. The bank trusts you. Can you imagine?
Obviously,
You can also have the built-in mortgage paid out where you rent out the place and it's paying out your mortgage instead, right? And you also have the cash flow. So if your expense is greater, the income, is greater than the expense, you have some positive cash flow, right? So real estate have 4 things I go feed. The others only have 1. So if you buy stocks, only dividends you can get. If you put the money on bonds, treasury bills, fixed deposit, you only ever get interest. If you buy US dollar, you only get US dollar increase, which is called profit gain. So you buy it for $2, you sell it back for $3, profit gain. One way you make the money. But in a real estate, you make the money. You're making the money. Let me switch back to the English language. You're making the money in more than one way. All right? Any questions? Remember to take the questions.
Oh yeah, we're still in the ask your questions, ladies and gentlemen. Currency was saying, Old Harbor, sign me up. How much land? And Future says, good afternoon.
I don't know yet. The land, I looked at 57 acres. Oh, I'm looking at a piece in Angels too. That was some serious acreage. But remember, guys, and one of my people that I mentor, young lady that I mentor, was pointing this out to me. So everybody keeps saying, oh, me not go Portmore, me not go Old Harbor, me not go Spanish Town. Remember, real estate is an investment vehicle.
Yeah, but those persons are talking is them first house and last house.
But nobody says them have to live there. Them can't stay where them is.
Yeah, but their mindset is telling them that they have to move there.
Which is why I'm saying change your mindset. Change the mindset. When I bought my first property, why it took so long, 1 whole year, because it's the same thing I was thinking. I have to go live there, which was Spanish Town. I never want to live in Spanish Town.
But you did live there.
Yes, I was forced to, because when the reality set in, we couldn't afford Kingston 6. We couldn't even afford Portmore.
I know, but you just told the people them that they don't have to live there, they can rent it out. Could you have rented out the Spanish Town and still live at Kingston?
Yeah, I could have.
Could have?
Yeah. Just have to rent a 1 room, but I could have. Yeah. I could have rented it too.
Why never did that? Too young, I never thought
because I never thought about it. I was thinking.
All those late nights, standing up in the bus, the rain, the water.
Never thought of it. Just
10 years.
10 years. You told it. And you know something? When I sold a property at Abbey Court, an apartment. And when I looked at the title, the Abbey Court was the same price as a 2-bedroom house I'm going to buy a Spanish Town.
A 1 bedroom.
A 1 bedroom. I could have bought the 1 bedroom and the 2 in the 1 bedroom.
Yeah.
So, and
You could have walked to work.
And I could have walked to work.
I could have walked to school too.
And I think the same thing holds today. Because when you look, you're looking at 2 bedrooms in same Portmore and Spanish Town, 26-30 million.
I think a 1 bedroom apartment, older 1 bedroom apartment,
is the same.
35 million.
Yeah, it's the same price. So
we have a question.
You don't have to live there, guys. Remember, real estate is also an investment vehicle.
My Serenity wants to know, how can homeowners get justice when contractors paid deposit but never did the work?
You have to go to court.
Court.
That's the only way. There's no other way. Unless hope you have a contract that outline the work that was to be done. Because if you don't have a contract, is you say him say, how the court are going to define that? So the man just walk away with the money, sir? Who asked the question?
My Serenity.
He didn't do anything? Never ever dropped some sand and gravel?
Clear the site? Nothing?
Nothing? And that's one of the reasons why I've gone back into construction, you know. The trust issue with these contractors. You need somebody you can send the money to and trust that they're going to get this done.
But what I don't understand, if you're calling yourself a contractor and you're running a business, why isn't there trust?
Yeah.
Don't you want repeat work?
I don't understand. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Don't get it. Any more questions, guys? We had a late night last night. So if we can get off quickly and go to our beds, we'd be very happy. Remember, those of you who want to be a part of our groupings for investments as shareholders, as actual owners in the projects, then you can go to my website and sign up so that you can be notified when we're having these meetings. Do that. It would also tell me how many of you are interested and have the means to do this. Any more questions, Tony?
No, we're out of questions, so we can close out at 10 minutes to the hour.
Tony is so happy. So happy.
I wish I was going to be able to go to sleep, but that's not in the cards right now.
All right. So remember, we taught you that time beats timing. It's your time in the market, as they would say when you're doing stocks. But I want your time in the market to be real estate, guys. Leverage creates wealth. Real estate is the only vehicle that a bank will leverage you to acquire as an asset, right? Inflation is your friend when it comes to real estate. Because
Not friend though.
no, not consumer goods, right? So inflation is your friend. What I noticed though, cars don't move with inflation, guys. So if the car that you buy, you can afford a piece of real estate, you need to rethink that. Yes or no?
Yes.
You need to go buy the real estate, not the car, right? So the cheapest lot I have is 6 million. So what I tell you, if the car is 6 million, Miss Davis is going to buy a piece of land. Remember, and I'm going to look at $3 million car. All right? So leverage creates wealth. Inflation can be a friend. Land is finite. No more land not making. So waiting can cost you more than if you just jump in and just do it. Right?
All right.
So,
There's no questions.
no questions. So the lesson is this. Wealth is built through ownership. You must own, guys. Remember that. Own your land, own your house, own your digital assets. Those people who own digital assets, like all those AI programs that Tony and I use, we fork out money to pay them. The software that we're using, we fork out money. So digital assets make money.
Yeah.
When I leave here, I'm going to watch Netflix. It's not free. I have to pay them every month, right? So remember, digital assets do make money, which is why I wanted to jump into my course when I do bring it out. Digitize your own desk. Start from there. You don't have to build no big fancy app and all these things. You might get there, yes. Because once you learn it, now you're going to figure out how you can do this. So which is why I did that. And even that website I told you about, claudiadavisjames.com, I built it using my AI. All right. So those things you're going to learn in the class as well. So thank you so much for staying with us. Remember to subscribe, those of you who are new to the channel. And Tony, you have any parting remarks? And we will see you next week. Tony, go and jump in our song now.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
We are move now. Them say them broke, so them not start. See the price and them get dark. Mind lock them afraid for the market. Never know say your system start. You no need to rich to begin. Just strategy to win. From you know where you qualified for. Your foot already. For them a watch pan sideline while and price a climb. Them want perfect same time. Now them late and miss time. Start smart, build it fast. Every move, adopt cash. From your step on the ladder. Next level come quick, no pass. Buy what you can afford now. Step in the game, no style now. Start small, level up fast now. Build wealth, make it tall now. Pre-approve, know your price now. Map tell you where you stand now. No more talk, action now. Real estate, we are run down. No more waiting, no more excuses. Start where you are and build from there.